Hello again. Today we're going to be looking at this 82 Ford shop manual for the Escort Lynx EXP and LN7. This is different from all the other Ford manuals. In 82, they had a powertrain pre-delivery maintenance lubrication book for every car except the Escort and EXP, and then they have a separate book, this one, for only the EXP, Escort, Lynx, and LN7. And there's two other books for this. This one's just the powertrain pre-delivery maintenance and lubrication system. The other ones include the wiring and electrical system. That's a different volume. And then the third one is vehicle emission systems and diagnostics. So all in total, there's 3 books. I believe this one's the first one, so it's E. So I believe the other 2 are F and G, but I might be wrong. But yeah, this is a fairly thick book. I'd say the only issue with this is you really need the other 2 books to go with it. This one's still quite useful. If what you need is in here, but if you need to know more about the emission system, or if you need a full wiring diagram, you need one of the other 2 books that I just mentioned. But anyways, this is the first one I got so far. I got it on eBay for less than $3, so I was excited to have it. Right off the bat, they give you an engine and transmission breakdown for every car of theirs at the time. So you can stare at that, pause it if you need to. I gotta keep chugging along. They do that with a few other things. But here you go. Here's every book here. So book A is for the other cars, B is for the other cars, C is the body chassis electrical, that was one of the ones I mentioned, D is powertrain for all cars except the EXP, E is the powertrain pre-delivery of Escort and EXP, so that's the second book. This one, E is this one, then our cars except EXP, and then our all models and truck series, engine and emissions. So yeah, you need C, E, and G to cover all of these. And then it gives you, a nice index, of course. And then it jumps right into identifications. There's a lot. It goes over all the different stickers that you could find on your radiator support. And all the different fin breakdowns you might have in your door jams or your buck tags, because it varies depending on what factory it came from. And then it gets straight into your automatic transmission. It's neat because it goes through a complete rebuild. And then I believe the next section is the manual transmission. It's the same story. It goes over how to adjust your clutch linkages, all your different lubrications for each transmission, and then it goes over how to rebuild the manual transmission. I think it even goes over the speedo gear. I think it does, but anyway, yeah, or manual transmission overhaul. It even tells you in here how to change out a stick shift for an auto lever system. They don't tell you how to switch the transmission, but they show you how to switch the shifting linkages around, and that's awfully simple. All you have to do is remove four mounting bolts, a few trim pieces, and then just move the rods. It's easy enough. And then it goes over different diagnostic procedures, gives you some nice cutaways. with labels so you can actually see what crap is. It just keeps going. It goes over torque converter rebuilds, so you can actually rebuild a torque converter with this book. Yeah, really good depictions. And then it gets into the engine. It shows you how to do a complete teardown of the entire engine, how to build it back up. And it'll give you, of course, all the torque specs and everything else you need to know to make this happen. The only thing it doesn't cover is performance, but this being an OEM book, it's not performance based. This is one of the few pieces of literature that shows you the quantity of oil. I know a lot of people have a hard time finding that, and it is tricky. I don't always find it. It also goes over carburetor rebuilds. I believe this book is before the EFI. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's before the EFI system. I don't think it even gives you a VIN for it at the beginning. Goes over radiator draining and refilling and replacing. Goes over jacking. Goes over special parts. Special tools. It goes briefly into brakes and cooling. And a few other accessory things like wiper replacement. And then, of course, gives you a whole bunch of conversions towards the end, and the surprisingly new glossary. That's about it. So there's not much to this, all in all, but there is a lot in there. Anything you need to do mechanically on your car, this is the thing for you, unless you have a wiring or emissions issue. This will cover almost everything. If you have EFI, you want the 83 model year. If you have a 5-speed, you want the 83 model year. If you have a high output engine, you want the 83 model year. None of those will be in this guy. But yeah, that's about all there is to it. I will get the other 2 books to match this someday soon. But until then, that's all. Keep an eye out. When I get the other Ford books, I will do a manual shootout to help you decide which ones you want to buy and which ones you should be referencing per issue you come across. This one's really nice. I just wish it had more stuff in it, but for what it covers, it's really, really nice, and I'm excited to get the others. They also make a book specifically for vacuum diagrams and wiring diagrams. We'll see about getting that a different time, and hopefully I can score a 5-speed rebuild manual, because Ford made some of those for the 83 model year, so pumped about getting that too. So we'll leave it at that. See you guys next time.